So why does supporting your hypothalamus help balance your hormones? Your hypothalamus is by far the most important gland in your body. It controls all of the systems of your body as well as the function of your brain and your immune system. Unless you've been watching my channel, you may not know much about your hypothalamus. That's because most healthcare providers ignore the hypothalamus. Why? Because we can't measure the hormones coming from the hypothalamus. So even endocrinologists don't really pay much attention to it. And it's only been recently, in the last few years, that there's even research to substantiate that the hypothalamus actually controls so many vital systems of your body. Now, more than 20 years ago, I discovered that the hypothalamus was at the root of the majority of my patients' health problems. Yes, almost no matter what they came in with, whether it was hormonal, neurological, immune, their hypothalamus was at the root of their issue. So is your hypothalamus functioning optimally? As an intuitive integrated family nurse practitioner, I've studied both Eastern and Western medicine. Now, Western medicine is all about the matter. If we can measure it, we believe in it. Eastern medicine believes that energy systems run the body, focusing on power points called chakras. What's interesting is that there are 7 chakras within the human body, and they correspond to your 7 endocrine glands. So East literally meets West in your endocrine system. Your hormones are the matter by which the energy is communicated through your body. And it's your hypothalamus, which is the master controller of all your biochemical communication. Your hypothalamus sits right below the thalamus, which controls your emotion, and above the pituitary gland, which basically sends out messengers under the direction of your hypothalamus to your lower endocrine glands. For instance, you might be familiar with the HPA axis. That is the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. Your hypothalamus is the master controller of your adrenal stress response, as well as all the other functions of your adrenal glands. Your hypothalamus produces a really big hormone called pro-opiomelanocortin, or POMC, that gets broken down into cortical releasing factor, which then stimulates the pituitary gland to produce adrenocorticotrophic hormone, which then stimulates your adrenals to produce cortisol. It's all a negative feedback system, with your hypothalamus perceiving your cortisol production and asking for either more or less from your adrenal glands. When you're under lots of stress, your HPA axis can get out of balance. So supporting your adrenal glands without supporting your hypothalamus is missing the mark. Because it's your hypothalamus that is dysregulated by the stress, and it's only telling the adrenal glands to overproduce cortisol to get you away from the stressor. Eventually your adrenals get overworked, leading to adrenal fatigue, all because there's been a miscommunication between your hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal glands for such a long time. Now, the same thing happens when you go through a hormonal transition like pregnancy or menopause. Your hypothalamus gets dysregulated by the changing hormones. If you've been supporting it, you bounce right back. Your hormonal transitions are easy. So how do you support your hypothalamus so that it doesn't become dysfunctional and you become sick? With healthy lifestyle measures and supplementation, a lot of your hormone issues can get back into balance. Your hypothalamus is really the master chakra, controlling all your other endocrine glands, as well as your nervous system and your immune system. Really, there's really not much that your hypothalamus doesn't control. Your hypothalamus controls your weight set point, your metabolism, your temperature, your fertility, your sleep cycles, your stress response, your memory, your moods, your hunger, your detoxification, your immunity, your healing, your rate of aging. It's usually a lifestyle factor, toxicity, injury, or a lack of the appropriate nutrients that throws your hypothalamus out of balance in the first place. Now, brand new research shows that it's your hypothalamus that's the issue underlying unexplained pregnancy loss. It's actually an olfactory response. Women who have unexplained miscarriages have a different way of perceiving smell. Imaging studies show that their hypothalamus is different than women who are able to conceive and carry pregnancies to term, which is very interesting because I found that by supporting the hypothalamus in my infertile patients, they are usually able to get pregnant. Before 2003, I did a lot of infertility work with my patients, including doing postcoital examinations to make sure that the woman's cervical mucus wasn't hostile to the sperm. I also did intrauterine inseminations, as well as full blood workup to be sure they were ovulating, that their thyroid and pituitary were functioning normally. Now that I have Genesis Gold to support my infertile patients, they get pregnant without extraneous infertility support, because Genesis Gold helps to correct the imbalance within their hypothalamus. So what else does the hypothalamus control? Well, your hypothalamus literally controls your brain by being the gatekeeper of all the amino acids that become neurotransmitters. Studies show that the hypothalamus controls your moods, your memory, and your cognition. I've been so excited over the last few years to see all the new research that's coming up that proves the connection between your hypothalamus and so many of your health issues. There's a new study demonstrating that obesity can induce anxiety, and the connection is within your hypothalamus. It's just so incredible. So now that you know that your hypothalamus is critical to your health and well-being, what are you going to do to support it? How do you possibly heal a gland that most of medicine is totally ignoring? Well, you can actually heal it without drugs. You don't need a healthcare provider to help you heal it. You just need to follow these 5 pillars of hypothalamic healing. Number 1 is to support your hypothalamus with nutraceuticals. When I opened my integrative practice in 1997, I was seeing so many patients that were hormonally challenged with all types of endocrine disorders, immune disorders, neurological disorders. Many of them had seen 5, 6, 7 specialists before finding me, and they just wanted a more natural approach to all the drugs that they were being prescribed. And I really wanted to find the root of their health issues. They came with adrenal and thyroid disorders, infertility, challenging menopause, diabetes, obesity. They were also having digestive and gut issues with irritable bowel and leaky gut. Some were having neurological symptoms like seizures, depression, anxiety, insomnia, memory issues, and learning disabilities. And quite a few immune issues with a full range of autoimmunity, as well as allergies and hypersensitivities, and immune systems that just weren't strong enough to protect them. So they were getting sick constantly, and some had developed cancer. All these patients coming to me with a myriad of symptoms, and I was trying to do as much natural treatment as possible for these patients because that's really what they wanted. And because frankly, I believe that the body can heal if it's given the right ingredients. But just sending them out with a huge shopping list to find all the right supplements, which I knew I wouldn't be able to follow the same complicated regimens, and none of it was really addressing the root cause of their health problems. That's when I discovered a hormone called pro-opiomelanocortin, or POMC. There was a study done on fat white mice which had similar issues to my patients. When they sacrificed the lab animals, they found that their hypothalamic POMC levels were off. Since POMC controls much of the endocrine system, adrenal, thyroid, glucose metabolism, day-night cycles, and endorphins, I decided that I needed to focus on the hypothalamus. I researched what could be fed to my patients every single day as a foundational support so the hypothalamus could actually heal. But there was nothing available. So I meditated on my dilemma and hoped, like Einstein, to find answers to my questions in my dreams. And I did. Every night for 3 months, I dreamt of parts of a nutritional formula that would help heal the hypothalamus. I researched every single ingredient that came to me. Most of the ingredients I had been giving to my patients, but it was the micro-synchronistic amounts that made the difference. And some of the ingredients were not even available then. So it would take quite a few years to actually get Genesis Gold manufactured. Yet, Once it was available, Genesis Gold changed my ability to help my patients. So many of them no longer needed multiple supplements or even medications to get better. Genesis Gold helped infertile couples get pregnant and then made going through the change of life so much easier. It was pretty incredible. I definitely believe that having Genesis Gold since 2003 has made a difference in easing my own transition through menopause. I really appreciate feeling vital and being able to handle a lot more stress and especially aging more gracefully. Truly, it's never too early to start to give your hypothalamus support, because in this modern stressful world with lights on all the time and poor diets and constant stressors, chemicals in our environment that actually disrupt our hormones and their receptor sites, your hypothalamus needs support. And most of my patients and even customers have been able to wean off of multiple supplements and medications by taking Genesis Gold, but it takes time. Your hypothalamus is not going to heal overnight. It takes at least 90 days to start to see the healing effect in the hypothalamus. Now, you're going to feel better in terms of energy and you may sleep a little better, but you may also get a rebound. Rebound symptoms are your hypothalamus trying to correct itself, and your hypothalamus corrects what it perceives as the most out of balance, which may not be what you perceive as the most out of balance. For instance, if you're overweight, you're not going to lose weight right away. You're probably going to detoxify first, fix some of the brain chemistry and the connection between the brain and the gut, which helps to control hunger, all controlled by the hypothalamus, before you can possibly start to get that weight off. So it's really important that you give your hypothalamus a chance to heal. And if you've been ill for years, your healing can take longer. Count on 1 month per year you've been out of balance after the first 3 months of initial hypothalamus support. But it's worth it because you're giving your body what it needs to finally heal. Hypothalamic support is absolutely number 1 in helping your hypothalamus function optimally. Number 2 is nutrition. Eating a healthy diet, and lots of people have different opinions about what a healthy diet is, but the best diet for the hypothalamus is the Mediterranean diet. It by far gives you the most healthy fats, adequate amount of protein, and it's plant-based, so you're getting lots and lots of colorful fruits and vegetables, which are super anti-inflammatory. And number 3 is making sure you're active, that you're getting adequate exercise for your body. Now that includes some kind of aerobic exercise where you get your heart rate up for at least a few times a week, as well as weight resistance and flexibility training. It doesn't have to be classic gym work in order to do this, but you do have to be active. Being sedentary is as dangerous for your health as smoking. Number 4 is sleep. Getting enough sleep for your body is crucial to hypothalamic healing. You must sleep in the complete dark, which means you're not looking at any digital devices after dusk. Now, I know that's hard. It's even hard for me sometimes. I always notice that if I look at my phone or get on my iPad before bed, I do not sleep nearly as deeply. And the way I know is I don't remember my dreams. Remembering your dreams is a sign of a healthy circadian rhythm, because when you dream, you're in a deep REM sleep, but not being able to remember dreams means that you don't make enough dopamine in the morning to wake you up and remember what you just dreamt. You also want to make sure that your room temperature is between 60 and 67 degrees. If it's any hotter than that, you're going to not sleep as deeply. If you need to have ambient noise, then use it to help you sleep more deeply. And the 5th pillar of hypothalamus healing is adopting a healing mindset. What you believe becomes. And if you believe you can be healthy and well, then you can heal. But if you don't believe, there's not enough good stuff to feed you to get you better. So sometimes your belief systems are imprinted from your past experiences, deeply ingrained since childhood. I have seen absolute incredible healings with my patients who actually shifted their mindset. It takes time. One of the beautiful things of supporting your hypothalamus with Genesis Gold is all of that subconscious garbage, those self-limiting beliefs come to the surface. Finally, you're able to do the work of healing because you start to realize why you do the things you do, why you believe the things that you believe, and what might be getting in your way. I've had patients come back to me holding Genesis Gold, saying they think it's therapy in a bottle. Truly, as an intuitive integrative nurse practitioner, I know that it's important to address your mind-body connection in order to heal. And that's why I created Genesis Gold, to heal your hypothalamus, but also to help you heal your body and your mind. I'll see you in the next video.